Look at that. Good evening.
What's going on here? All fancy
We've got a
graphics and
countdown
stuff.
video. I know, mate. Well, it's you've got to keep things moving, haven't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Good
evening.
You don't want
Your name?
you don't want to stand still.
What's your name?
Paul Benson. Paul Benson.
Not what it says. Not what it says on the screen.
So it doesn't. Goodness me, how did that happen?
I don't know.
I noticed someone's noticed it already. Good evening, everyone. Let's just say a quick few guys. Chris, Will, Leanne, Callum, Adam. Evening, guys. We are still early. I love how you guys are chomping at the bit, ready to go. You're like a fancy new countdown, eh? How cool is that? How cool is that? Can't you come back at 9 p.m? Yeah, you're right, Chris. We'll just hold on. We'll just talk amongst ourselves for an hour, and then you go watch your documentary. Make a cuppa, have a little, maybe call your mother, and then let us know when it's good to go, and we'll crack on. All right.
Actually, can I just let I'll let Chris know, and indeed all the nice people that are with us this evening. There's a new invention, right, which is called Sky Plus, and I think some other similar companies are doing a similar sort of thing. There's also something called video on demand, and there's like you can watch stuff like later. So
mind blowing.
A chance that you can actually watch whatever. What's the documentary about? I want to know what the documentary is about, Chris.
Better be about something good. If it's about something really good, we'll be interested.
What it is that I want to know what he's blowing us out for. Richard, I'm not playing heel. I'm not playing heel. I am always myself. There is absolutely no facade. There is no character. It is all about being honest. Much like Chris Jericho, I am an honest man. And what happened this week on the Hooked On podcast on how to be great? We had an excellent podcast this week, which was going beautifully and swimmingly until it was ruined around about an hour and a half in by Paul Benson spouting untold nonsense. Comparing Big E to Bret Hart, and I like Paul. In fact, I'd go so far as to say, after knowing him for a little over a decade, he's a friend. But I did tell him to. Can I say it? I better not say it on this, but I told him to F off.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I better not. I know people have their kids watching this and whatever. It's 8:00 at night. I told him to F off on the podcast about 5 times. Someone made a meme of it. Someone sent us a meme with me telling Paul to F off.
Which was quite cool. Anyway, just a few more hellos before we get started. Who else have we got in today? We've got, I think I saw Jenny and Matt and Richard and Pat. It's all rhyming so far. And Adam and Daniel. Hello. I don't know, not recognise your name, Daniel. Evening all. We're having a lovely day. We're getting ready for our lovely evening quiz. So, by the way, guys, we've got some very cool SummerSlam news tonight. Stick around, won't you? Mark, how you doing? Chris has just received a call from Marty Jannetty. Yeah, I'd swerve that one. You know, I would definitely swerve that one. That's one call I would let go to voicemail. But yeah, we've got a really cool announcement actually. We've been something that popped up this weekend, a crazy idea that popped into my head that's actually worked out. So stick around to the bitter end.
Here's the thing, folks. Paul Benson is the head of the Hooked On Wrestling Corporation. He's not Tony Khan, right? And not just his pockets, but also what he's going to live up to. We actually do have a cool announcement. It's not an AEW announcement, which actually means bugger all. It's actually a really cool announcement. So we are. When are we going to do it? Are we going to do it at the end or halfway through? Or
we'll do it at the end. We'll do it at the end. We'll reward those people that stick around. Well, we have to do it before 9:30. We have to do it before 9:30 because all the socials have been set to go live at 9:30. So if we want to give these guys first tips.
We won't have finished the quiz. We want about question 7 by 9:30.
Well, we'll see. Guys, it's 8:00. So let's have a quick run through the rules. I'm not seeing too many newcomers, but for the benefit of those 2 or 3, let's make sure that you're all up to speed. So, guys, we've got a 20-question quiz tonight, as always. What we'll do, we'll have 10 questions written and read out by me, 10 questions written and read out by Rob. We will answer each other's questions. So what we'll do, I'll ask Rob a question. You guys have to answer it. Obviously, it's mainly about you guys, but we'll give you a minute or so to answer. We'll chat amongst ourselves, and then Rob will give his answer, not the answer, give what he thinks the answer. He hasn't seen my questions, and vice versa. So we want you to submit your questions via direct message to the Hooked on Wrestling Facebook page. Okay, so you want to practice that now. Send a quick hello. Our Hatchamania, our man with a plan, is sitting in the background. Send us a direct message. He will send you a thumbs up or a wave or some obscene emoji back to let you know he's got the message. That's how you submit them. Don't put them in the comments. Put them in direct message, okay? While we're doing that, while we're talking about that, if you could be so kind as to Chris. Hey, James, first timer. How you doing, mate? If you could be so kind as to make sure that when you submit a question, it's got a number on. So if it's question 1, you number it 1, question 2, number it 2, and so on and so forth. Also, you only get one shot. You only get one answer. If you submit an answer and then you realize you're wrong or you've made a mistake, unlucky, your answer is final. And unfortunately, that is that. So just anything else to discuss? Yes. Okay. So blocks of questions. So we'll be doing 20 questions. We'll be doing them in blocks. Bonus points, really important for the guys that have not been around before. The fastest 3 to enter their answer correctly will get a bonus point. So obviously everyone that gets the answer right gets a point. But if you're one of the first 3 to submit that correct answer, you'll get a bonus point. What we'll do at the end of each block of 5 questions, we'll read out the bonus points. So you can all keep a tally. And you keep it a tally of your own scores, and then we'll tot up who's got what at the end and reward a winner. And at the end of the quiz, everybody who's answered all 20 questions or stuck around anyway, you can just write pass if you don't know the answer. But once you've answered all 20 questions, we'll put all those names in a hat, bob one out, and one of you wins the Matt Riddle t-shirt from WWE Euroshop. So it's not about who's the smartest, because let's face it, it's about the taking part and the fun. So as long as you stick around with us, you'll be in the draw. Let's hope Retribution don't come and pretend to be thugs on our feed before then. Let's see if we see any children with balaclavas and toy baseball bats. We will run a mile. Guys, okay, so it's 3 minutes past. So is everyone clear? Dale's here. Hello. Hi, Dale. Hi, Malcolm. We've got some new faces that weren't in before. Martin, hey, mate. How you doing? Mentioned James. I think got Kerr's here. How you doing, Kerr? Second week. Good man. So we'll start at 5 past. Just to reiterate for anyone that missed the start of this question, the most important thing is submit your answers via direct message to the Hooked on Wrestling Facebook page. If any of you are playing on the Relentless Facebook page, good evening. We're broadcasting for the first time. Please do, in your second screen, find the Hooked on Wrestling Facebook page to submit your answers via there, please. That's facebook.com/Hooked on Wrestling. If you send them to the Relentless page, I'm afraid we won't see them. I will have to make sure I correct that for next time. It's something I did not think about when I put it on there, but it's easy to sort for next time. Marcus, that's a new name. How you doing? Right. I think, are we all ready? Yeah, Malcolm, we loved your meme podcast review. Actually, it was the highlight of the Hooked on week. That's for sure. Rob, are you set? What we're going to do, so I've got connections around this week, mate. So I believe you're going to do the first 5, then I'm going to do the middle 10, and then you're going to bring us home with the final 5. Is that right, Chris?
Makes sense to me, doesn't it, Chris? Big thumbs up from him. Yeah, if it'll be the first 5 from me, then Paul will do 10, then I will bring us home with 5. Since we've got seconds to go until 5 past, when is our official start time, I have to start with the most important question of the night, which is, are you wearing a hoodie?
Yeah, I always wear a hoodie.
It's hotter than the inside of the sun. I know you're in Yorkshire, and it's up north. It is boiling. You've got a bloody hoodie on. It's unbelievable.
My office is nice and cool. I put it on after I got the little boy bathed and everything. I got a bit wet, so I changed and put my hoodie on. But let's crack on, shall we? Thomas and Danielle have joined us as well last minute. Nick Boris. Nick, very quickly, how do you join, mate? We'll just do this one more time really quickly. Submit your answers as we go through this via direct message to the Hooked on Wrestling Facebook page. That's the main thing you need to know. Fastest 3 who submit the correct answer get a bonus point as well, and only your first answer counts. So that's the most important thing. Those of you who are a bit late, but just before we start, if you want to send the Hooked on Wrestling Facebook page a quick direct message now, just say hello, then Hatchamania will send you a thumbs up back to let you know your answers are registering. We'll give you the answers as we go, and you guys can keep a tally of your own scores. So, Rob, give us question one, matey. Go on, let's go for it.
Yeah, I will do. Although I was sort of asking about your sartorial choices because I was expecting you to ask me back about mine, because it is a brand new wrestling. I am still coming through with brand new wrestling stuff tonight, and it's a bit tight. I do apologise, everybody, for having to look, but look at that! What a design for the 25th anniversary of WrestleMania, which wasn't an anniversary. But nice. That's what we're going with tonight. So brand new from the McNichol collection out of the bottom drawer. So here we go then. So my set of questions, what I tend to do is put through 5 questions which have sort of themes to them. So sometimes I don't always tell you what they are. So I will tell you that my first 5 do have a little bit of a theme running through them, but you don't need to know that. You don't need to get that. All you need to do really is answer my questions. But if you can find out what little theme I'm doing, it might just help you. And it's good practice because Paul's going to do a proper connections round on questions 6 to 15, where you should try and get the connection, because that's worth points. On mine, it's not worth points. It's just to try and help you. So here we go then, folks. Eyes down, look in for question number 1. At the first ever Backlash, the Acolytes and Midian, representing the Ministry of Darkness, wrestled 3 members of which group? So at the first ever Backlash, there was a 6-man tag team match. It was the Acolytes, Bradshaw and Farouk, as well as Midian against another 3-person group. What was that match, please? What was the name of the group that wrestled 3 representatives from the Ministry of Darkness? And just to be clear to everybody, because Chris has asked a question, please send a message on our on our Hooked on Wrestling Facebook page via private message. So if you send a message through there, that's where you send your answers. We do have someone, he's off screen at the moment, but we'll introduce him to you at the end of this group of 5. His name's Chris Hatch. He's the best referee in the country, and he is keeping an eye on all of the answers as they come in. So yeah, please send in your answer to the question I've just said to the Hooked on Wrestling Facebook page via direct message. And if it's the first message you send, Chris will try and give you a little thumbs up just to let you know that he's received your answers and is receiving your answer. And just to be clear for the latecomers, the reason why we do that is because we do give bonus points for the quickest answers. It's one of our little ways of, because quite frankly, most of these questions that we ask, you could run away and you could Google. First of all, it wouldn't be any fun for you because it's a fun quiz and there's no prizes for winning. But secondly, to reward the knowledge and people getting in there nice and quickly, we give out some bonus points after every 5 questions. He is a darn good ring announcer too, Matt. You're quite right. I should have said that. And but he's getting a bit big for his boots at the moment, so I'm trying not to praise him too much.
Right. Well. Okay.
Paul,
so
that's enough covering, I think. After the
I think so.
The first question. What are you going to go for as your answer?
So the answer is unclear to me at this point. I don't know. So so the Ministry of Darkness, I think, came into being in sort of January, late '98, early '99. So I'm guessing, total guess, that this Backlash is 1999. Could be completely wrong on that one. I'm going to say, what the hell? The Brood, Edge, Christian, Gangrel.
Okay, just to be clear to everybody, the answer I'm looking for is the name of the group. So in this particular situation, Paul is going for, he thinks it's Edge, Christian and Gangrel, but the answer I'm getting from him is the Brood. Okay, so that's what you would need to say, not the individual members, but the group. I'm not saying that's right, by the way, but I'm saying that's Paul's answer, and so the Brood is what we would take. Okay, question number 2.
Chris knows his onions. Chris knows his onions. So if you put, for example, if you've gone with that answer and you put Edge, Christian, Gangrel, he'll take that as the Brood. So don't fret on that.
Don't change my rules as we go along. I want the name of the group. I said the name of the group.
Well, it would have been.
Work out how my questions go. Getting all big. Well,
maybe you should have clarified that. Maybe you should have clarified that.
Exactly what I was doing.
Well, after everyone submitted.
So and so this week.
I don't know. Getting a year wrong last week. Read the rules this week. Come on.
That is true. Actually, I did make a mistake last week. Won't happen tonight. Number 2. Who was the first ever so-called? In fact, I won't word it like that. Who was the first person to be European champion and Intercontinental champion at the same time? There's been several people who have done it, but who was the first person to be European champion and Intercontinental champion at the same time? So again, to be clear for anyone that's new or has not done it too many times, Paul and I are playing against one another for fun. He writes his 10 questions, I write my 10. We don't share them beforehand. We run them through Chris, our referee. He makes sure that we're not duplicating or asking questions which are too close, but we don't know each other's questions. We're playing just as real as the rest of you in terms of it's the first time we will hear these answers, but you should not necessarily take what we say as the answer. We generally do okay. We probably get 7 or 8 out of 10, roughly speaking, each week, sometimes more, sometimes a lot less. Like I only got about 1 the other week. But the thing to do, because people do sometimes do it, is sit there, wait for one of us to give our answer, and then answer straight away afterwards with what we said. If you do that, you got no chance because you won't score any bonus points, and quite often we're wrong. So,
yes, exactly. So, in fact, for the final reckonings, Chris doesn't actually count that. If you submit your answer after we have, then Chris just chalks it off. So, yeah. Right, shall I give my answer on this one? Everyone's had enough time to have a think.
Please do.
You're right, there are several. And unless there is a glaringly obvious one I am missing, which there probably is, I think it's Jeff Jarrett.
Okay. Number 3. In Impact Wrestling, he was known as Tyrus. How was he known in WWE? So on question number 3, how was the person who was known as Tyrus in Impact Wrestling, how was he known in WWE? What was his ring name? Just in case he had more than one. I mean the one that he is predominantly most known for. I don't think there's an indicator that he was known for anything other than one particular run, and it's the main name, not the person's nickname that I would be going for here. So, for example, if it was Randy Savage, which is not, the answer is Randy Savage and not necessarily the Macho Man. Happy with this one?
It's the only one. It's the only one I've got full confidence in out of the 3 answers I've submitted. The other ones, the first one I've got 0 confidence in. The second one I've got about 20% confidence in.
Martin thinks he knows the link. Martin Richards loves the link. Several ha's. Anyone else think they've got the link between the 3 so far?
By the way, just let me take this time
don't say what it is. If you think you know what it is, don't say it out loud, and you don't score any points for getting it. It's just it might help you with some of the other answers.
Welcome to all the newbies this week. By the way, Chris has been telling us on the private chat. There's quite a few new names. So hello. Hope you enjoy it and stick around. And remember, we've got at the end of the quiz, if you stick right to the end, we've got the T-shirt giveaway to one of the randoms and our big SummerSlam announcement that you can all join in on, no matter where you are in the country or indeed the world. So my answer to question 3, Rob. my answer to question 3 is Brodus Clay.
Brodus Clay. Okay, that's what Paul says for number 3. Another point, actually, we should make to some of our newer people joining in is one of the most common things that we hear from people on their first go is that they've enjoyed it, but it was hard. They often go, bloody hell, that was hard. Do you know what? It's meant to be hard. We do that deliberately. We want to try and make it hard. I mean, you might think so far it's been easy, but there'll be questions later on that'll be a bit tricky. So if you find that you only get a score of like below half or whatever and it's been difficult, we do aim to make it difficult to a point. But the longer things go on, the more you'll understand how we work. You'll understand the little links and connections and stuff. You'll get better. And actually, the main thing is that you have fun. That's why we give a prize to the people that are joining in randomly as opposed to the people winning it. Because frankly, it would get a bit samey with the people winning it every week. So we're here for a fun. We started this, Paul, 14, 15 weeks ago in terms of just doing this for a bit of fun while we were all locked down. And we've just carried on. We've got a nice little community going and it's turned into a bit of fun. So please enjoy it. And don't worry if you're struggling. It's all about a bit of a giggle for an hour and a half or so of a Sunday. Question number 4: where? And I am looking for the place, not the name of the building, not the name of the show, the place. Where did Shinsuke Nakamura win the NXT title? Where did Shinsuke Nakamura win the NXT title? And I am looking. There is one. Chris knows what the answer is. we're accepting one answer here. Okay, there is one answer. I think it's up to Chris, it's up to his judgment. But if someone were to say something a bit broader than the answer, Chris. So, for example, Paul, what's the name of the village you live in? If you were happy to give it away,
I live in a village called Kelfield.
Okay, so I would be probably looking for that as the answer. If someone put the answer to be Yorkshire rather than Kelfield, I'd want them to be a bit more specific than that. Let's put it that way. But Chris knows what the parameters are. So, where did Shinsuke Nakamura win the NXT title? And we don't mean the name of the show, and we don't mean the name of the arena, the place in which he did it.
Oh no!
Adam says in the ring. Yes, that says. It may have been a Falls Count Anywhere match. He might have been on the in the backstage, mightn't it? But yes, in the place in which he did it is what we're looking for. The name of the geographical place.
I've got the link.
Oh, have you really?
I've got the link. I like the link, and I realise where I've gone right and where I've gone wrong now. That is a really clever little thing, Rob. Well done. Virtual pat on the head. That is superb, actually. Are you still there? Oh, I think we might be losing Rob with some technical difficulties. Rob?
I'm still here. Yeah. I thought it was you. Well, to me, you dropped out then, so I don't know who's got the issue. But let's carry on.
All right. Okay. So, shall I give you my answer to 4 then?
Please do.
My answer to question 4 is Brooklyn.
Okay. Question number 5, which may spoil the link. Question number 5. What is the only WrestleMania match to feature 2 wrestlers 1v1 who both have bro in their name? What is the only one-on-one WrestleMania match ever to feature 2 men with bro in their name? That is the letters BRO in order somewhere next to each other in their name. So you would be able to underline the word bro somewhere. Okay, so Callum says there's an answer in the comments. I can't see one, Paul. I don't know if it's on a.
No, I just deleted it. I deleted it. You deleted it. So yeah, okay, guys. Just a quick reminder: answers in direct message, please, not in the comments. I just need a little minute to think about this. Rob, while I'm thinking about this, why don't you tell everyone what the podcast topic is going to be for next week? Seems we've got a different announcement at the end. Why don't you tell everyone what our podcast topic this coming week is, eh?
Yes, well, we're doing the new one that we decided, aren't we? Because we've made a bit of a late change. Let me just find the details in front of me because I haven't got the exact wording. I'd like to get an exact wording on these announcements. I will just say, just to clarify my question there, I asked about the WrestleMania match featuring 2 wrestlers with bro in their name. It's the name in which they're billed, of course. It might be their real name, it might be their gimmick name, but it's the name in which they're billed. I'm not trying to be clever and it's their secret real name or it's their middle name or anything like that. I can't find. I know roughly what the topic is for the podcast, but I can't find the exact wording, so I might have to do it in a little bit. Have you got an answer? Are you just trying to delay me because you?
No. Yes, I've got one answer. I'm trying to think of someone he might have faced that gives me a second answer on it. And you know what? The pressure is mounting. And it just is not coming to me at all.
Oh yes, okay. I found it. Okay. Do you want me to do the podcast while you're thinking?
No, I've got it. I've got it.
Right.
I've got it.
Go on then. Let's hear your answer.
So the answer. So you're asking what number WrestleMania is the only one that features 2 wrestlers facing one-on-one?
Not what number WrestleMania. What's the match?
Oh right. Okay. Sorry.
Name the wrestlers. Name the wrestlers.
Oh right. Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose.
That is Paul's answer. So there's my 5. What we will now do is I will go through those 5 again. We will tell you what the correct answers are. I won't tell you how well Paul's done so far, but I'll tell you what the correct answers are after each. And then when we've done those 5, we will bring in Hatch for the first time to give you your bonuses. Okay, number 1, the first ever Backlash. The Acolytes and Midian represented the Ministry of Darkness, and they wrestled. You very tentatively said the Brood. Are you happier now that you said that? I am much happier, especially seeing as I nearly said Kai and Tai. Kai Bro Tai. So the Brood is the answer. The first ever person that was European champion and Intercontinental champion at the same time was, you said Jeff Jarrett, so it's obviously not that. Is it D'Lo Brown? D'Lo Brown is the answer. D'Lo Brown. Number 3 in Impact Wrestling, he was Tyrus. In WWE, he was Paul Brodus Clay. Brodus Clay. And Shinsuke Nakamura won the NXT title in, as Paul said, Brooklyn. It should be clear by now that all of these answers contain the word bro somewhere. And number 5 asked you what was the only WrestleMania match to feature 2 wrestlers with bro in their name. It was indeed Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar. A match that... quite proud of that one. I don't look back on all that fondly. Is that the weakest match that Brock's had since his return? So especially considering it was meant to be a Mania thing. It didn't really work, did it? So what you need to do, folks, so that's the 5 answers. Work out how many you got. Nick's just told us he's got 4 out of 5. Good work from him. Work out how many of them that you got. Yes, Martin points out my name is an anagram of bro. Very well done. But so work out how many you've got. That's your score at this moment. Chris is going to come in and give some bonuses. So for example, I'll use Nick as an example because he's told me he's got 4. He's got 4 there. If Chris is about to say Nick Burrow 2, that's his bonus points. So we take 4 from how many he scored out of the 5 plus the bonus points, and that's the score you're on at the moment. So Chris will not read out how many he thinks you got. He's going to tell me how many bonuses you add on. Okay, I hope that's clear for everybody. Should we bring him in? Paul, there he is for the first time. There he is. How you doing, Hatchamania?
Yeah, very good. You all right, lads?
Yes, I was hoping you would appear on the. I was hoping you would appear on the screen, kicking away your slip-ons. But what you've actually done is come in a lovely red shirt.
No, what
just before you give the bonus,
take the limelight off you. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah. Just quickly before you give the bonus points, just to clarify, Dale, if you've put Gangrel, Christian, and Edge, yes, give yourself the point.
Yeah,
you can have a point. You can have a point.
Yeah. Okie doke. Chris, let's have them, dude.
Oh, bonus points. Patrick Heafield 3, Adam Brand 2, Martin Richards 2, Will Kitchen 2, Adam Pearson 1, Chris Marden 1, Leanne Culverhouse 1, Malcolm Marr 1, Richard Horrigan 1, and Steve Clark 1.
Okay, one more time if you don't mind.
Of course. Patrick Heafield 3, Adam Ferrand 2, Martin Richards 2, Will Kitchen 2, Adam Pearson 1, Chris Marden 1, Leanne Culverhouse 1, Malcolm Marr 1, Richard Horrigan 1, and Steve Clark 1.
Wow, well done, guys. A nice spread there. And I see a few people in the comments while Hatchamania has been mentioning Hatch's brand new shirt. Hatchamania running wild. No, we're talking about your
Chris. As soon as I get one, it's on every week. I mean, you got to take the opportunity while you have it, don't you?
We'll get it there soon. If anybody wants a Hatchamania shirt, just go to hookedonwrestling.co.uk, click on the merch link, and it is right there. Hatchamania running wild. Just like we are trying to make sure his ego doesn't run wild, Hatchamania will be. Right, Chris, thanks for that, mate. We'll see you in a few questions' time.
See you in a bit.
Right, guys, I'm taking over now. I've got 10 questions to ask. So those that have played with us before will be familiar with this format. I'll just explain it very quickly for those that haven't. Thomas, no spelling doesn't matter, by the way. Right, so it's a connections round. So I'm going to ask you 9 questions, okay? Those 9 questions have all got a common theme that runs, that binds them, okay? For instance, like a few weeks ago, I did 9 questions, and all of the answers related to the names of NHL ice hockey teams. It's not that this time. It's wrestling related, I'll tell you that. But what we want you to do is the first 9 questions, answer them as normal, quick as you can, as you do. Question 10 in the round is what is the connection between the previous 9 questions?
15.
Sorry, question 10 of the block, 15 altogether, is what is the connection between these previous 9 questions? That one you can answer as soon as you want. Okay, so if you think you've got the connection after 3 questions, send it in to Chris as normal. Say connection is blah blah blah. If you've got it right and you're one of the first 3 to get it right, you'll get your point, but you only get 1 shot. So if you go for it after question 3 and then you realize you've cocked it after questions or the next question, after the next few questions, you don't get another chance. But if you want to wait until you've heard all 9 questions to submit it, absolutely fine. You'll still get your point if it's correct, but you're unlikely to get the bonus point. You might, depending on when other people submit, but you're unlikely to. Okay. Is that clear? Is everyone clear on that?
We've had weeks where we've had even a few dozen players and only 2 or 3 have got the connection. Have we not? So it might be that if you get the connection a little bit later on, you can hold fire and you still might be one of the bonuses. It's a bit of a game to play, but you never know. Can I just say a little bit of an apology because I think there's more of a delay between me and Paul this week than normal. So if that is impacting, I apologise to everybody, but we're doing our best here with our shoddy broadbands at either end of the country.
Yes, we are. And just a quick one as well on bonus points. So after the first 5 questions, we'll bring Chris in to give the bonus points for that section of 5. Obviously, we won't give out the answers at that point because then it'll give people clues to the connection. Yeah. We'll give all the answers after the block of 10 questions, if that makes sense, but you will get your bonus points after 5. So with that said, let me get my question sheet up and we'll crack on with question 6. Where are we? All right. Question 6. Who was the first man to successfully defend the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam? Who was the first man to successfully defend the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam? Now, I'll give you a little bit of advice on these guys. My 9 questions are all SummerSlam related. The theme may or may not be.
Oh, goodness me. Because I'm sure I asked a question about this about 8 weeks ago and I think in the history we've been doing this quiz, I've buggered up 2 or maybe 3 questions. And I'm sure one of them was something like this. I'm sure I asked
make sure I haven't buggered it.
No, because I think I asked about who was the first person to win it or something like that, and I got it wrong.
So yeah, who was the first person?
The first person to walk in as champ and leave as champ, basically. Is that right?
Correct.
In terms of actually defending it successfully.
Okay. I think I've got an answer.
Go on then. We've had enough time with these guys, so give us an answer.
Okay. I think... Word the question again. Did you say successfully defend?
Yes.
So would that mean they won their match?
Well, let's just make it abundantly clear. The first person to walk in and walk out as champion.
Okay. I think it's
it could be one. It could be one and the same, but I'm just going to be clarifying. You think it's Shawn Michaels, do you?
I think it's Shawn Michaels.
Okay, Shawn Michaels is your answer then. So question number 7, guys. Who made his pay-per-view debut as a mystery tag team partner in a mixed tag team match at SummerSlam 1998? Question 7. Who made his pay-per-view debut as a mystery tag team partner in a mixed tag team match at SummerSlam 1998? Does that make sense? Is that clear?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
98. I can't believe you've gone early on SummerSlam. Because clearly in a couple of... they're SummerSlam questions, aren't they? So the fact that we're going to do SummerSlam in a couple of weeks, I'm thinking I'll do my SummerSlam questions in a couple of weeks, probably watch a few of the shows, do a little bit of research, and he's gone early. So I've not already researched SummerSlam stuff.
You'll see why. I'll explain why afterwards, because obviously these questions are fairly on rails. There's a lot more I could do with SummerSlam.
I'm not saying
as we go.
There is plenty we can do, but I'm just saying that I haven't done my research. I can sometimes get a step ahead of you by preempting a topic. I think. Well,
let's have your answer. You think it's edge? Do you think you know it's edge? Okay. Question number 8. Question number 8. One man won matches at the first 5 SummerSlams. Who was it? Only one man won matches at the first 5 SummerSlams. Who was it?
Okay, they don't I presume they don't necessarily need to have been one-on-one matches. They could have been part of a tag team.
My lips are sealed.
Okay. So this person was either one of the as an individual or as part of a team, I assume, got their hand raised at the first 5. That's a lot, isn't it? Crikey, let me go. I'm going to have to try and get one of the pay-per-views that I'm familiar with and go through the card and see if I can work out who it was. Because it's not him, because he wasn't at that one.
I certainly noticed there's a delay in answers. People are thinking about this. They're not all steaming in with answers straight away.
I've got someone that has got 4. I've got someone that's definitely won at 4 of them. I can't remember what he did on the other one. This is shall I say it? Bastard of a question, but it's a good bastard. Paul, you are a good bastard.
I am. That's going to be on my headstone, mate. That is going to be on my headstone. Paul Benson, he was a good bastard.
He was a good
and he really liked Big E.
Bastard. Yeah. I don't dislike. Stop bringing it up. I don't dislike Big E. No, I love him. He's good. He's good.
You dislike Big E and everything he stands for.
I dislike things about him, but generally I think he's great. I wish him very well. He's just not Bret Hart.
He is not.
If anyone is wondering what I'm on about and why Paul is even called Big E tonight on his little banner, then go and listen to the podcast, the How to Be Great podcast from this week, and you'll find out. I've also reverted to my own name and not Rubber Duck Johansson, as I was last week, but that seemed to catch on. I might go back to that.
That'll be the next name on a shirt, mate. That will be the next name on a shirt, that's for sure.
No chance. Right,
go on then.
I wish I had longer, and I wish I could write out lots of things on a sheet, but we want to keep this moving. There is someone that I can think of that has definitely won at 4 of the first 5, and I can't remember what he did at the other one. So I will say the Ultimate Warrior.
Okie doke. That was question 8. So question number 9. Question number 9. Get your thinking caps on for this one. You'll need to work it out. What is the real name of the winner of the 5th WWE World Title match to take place at SummerSlam? I'll say that again.
Crikey.
What is the real name of the winner of the 5th, as in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, WWE World Title match to take place at SummerSlam? Is that clear for everyone?
Oh, it's clear. I mean, it's going to take me a fortnight to get the answer.
Well, if you give it a minute instead of a fortnight, then we'll be about right. Has anyone had a bash at the connection?
It's not at that one. Oh God! Don't you talk a lot when I'm trying to think?
You can mute me.
Oh,
my wife often does.
What that one is? What's the main event of that then? Oh, that's that, isn't it? Okay, that's that one. So that's one. It's not on that.
Thomas, have I seen Hell in a Cell match against the Usos? Yes, I've seen it. Rob, have you seen it?
Yes, great. It is good, actually. It's fantastic. It's a terrific match. Crikey, don't it make you realise how little that title was? So that's 2. What did you say, the 5th one?
5th.
So 2 to there.
Uno. Give me 5. Give me 5.
3 to there. 4.
Just to repeat the question, because Matt's asking, what is the real name of the wrestler who was the winner of the 5th WWE World Title match to take place at SummerSlam?
The real
Give you
name.
another
Okay. What have I got to tell you? The real name or the person? The gimmick. What have I got to tell you? The real name or the gimmick name?
The real name.
Okay. I think. Do you want the answer now?
Yeah.
I think it's Michael Hickinbottom.
Michael Hickinbottom. Okay. So that was question
I don't know
9,
if I've got any of these
it?
right. I can't do links because I don't know if I've got any of them right yet.
Are you writing them down?
Yeah, well, I'm writing them, but I've got question marks by them because I don't know if they're right.
Okay. So question number 10. Leanne thinks she's got. Leanne, do us a favour. Send me a personal Facebook message because I'd be really interested to see if you've got it right. Send me a personal message on my personal account. Tell me what you think the link is. So question 10.
Inbox me.
She's sitting there with her boyfriend, Adam, you freak. Question 10.
Don't call Adam a freak. He's a nice bloke. That wasn't very nice.
Question 10. You know who I was calling a freak. Question 10. Which wrestler competed at every SummerSlam until he missed his first one in 1996? Which wrestler competed at every SummerSlam until he missed his first one in 1996?
Do you know, there's a round of questions that I've got for you that I've already written for next week. And I'm really, really glad I haven't done them today because some of these questions are frighteningly similar to the things that you've just come up with. Not the questions, but the tone of the questions.
I know what you mean. So one more time,
I will have my own back in this quiz or the next.
All right, Maximus. Which wrestler competed at every SummerSlam until he missed his first event in 1996?
I've got an answer.
Well, give us an answer, and then we'll get Chris in to do. Well, we'll give him a minute to work through, and we'll get the bonus points for these 5, and then we'll go into the next lot. So, what's your answer for this one, then, mate? What's your answer for question 10?
I think it's Bret Hart.
You think it's Bret Hart, do you? Okie doke. Chris, are you ready for the bonus points yet, mate, or do you need a little minute? He's good to go. So let's bring him in for some bonuses. All right, guys, just to remind you, we're not going to do the answers for these ones until we've got through the whole of my round, but these are the bonus points you've got for the first 5. So whatever you get, just add these to your score. So, Chris, take it away, my man.
Not a problem. I'm not just backing you up on this one. Leanne Culverhouse, 4. Will Kitchen, 3.
Wow.
Richard, 2. Chris Marden, 1. Chris Pereira, 1. Malcolm Marr, 1. Patrick Heafield, 1. Rob O'Donnell, 1. And Tax Smith, 1.
Wow, I'm really impressed with the spread of points. Did I hear no answers? No, did I hear any bonus points for Patrick Heafield that time?
1.
Just the one. Patrick, did you go off and make a cuppa or something, mate? Give us them one more time, Chris.
Of course, Leanne Culverhouse, 4. Will Kitchen, 3. Martin Richards, 2. Chris Marden, 1. Chris Pereira, 1. Malcolm Marr, 1. Patrick Heafield, 1. Rob O'Donnell, 1. Matt Smith, 1.
Rob, stop muttering into your microphone. We can hear you. Right, Chris, thank you, buddy. We will go away now, and we will we'll bring you back in 5.
Go.
Rob, any ideas on the connection yet?
Is it NHL hockey teams?
No, it's not. No, it is not. Right. We'll go into question number 11, though. Question number 11. Who faced Shane McMahon at SummerSlam 2003? Who faced Shane McMahon at SummerSlam 2003?
Oh, this is getting worse. This is getting worse for so many reasons.
I must admit, if any, I've broken a cardinal rule this time, and I've slightly.
Yeah, I know what rule you've broken, but it's worse because I know what rule you've broken.
Quiz.
Oh, because you've asked this. You've asked this.
Adam says he's got his connection wrong.
You've asked this on the online quiz. I've already done the online quiz. I got this answer wrong, and I can't remember what the real answer is.
The only reason I repeat it is because I was struggling, almost impossible to think of an alternative question to get where I needed to be. So so this is why I went with it.
Why can't I get that? Well, I did that quiz Friday morning.
Question 11, who faced Shane McMahon at SummerSlam 2003? And for those that don't know, Rob is talking about the quiz we do every Friday at hookedonwrestling.co.uk. It goes live at 9 o'clock on a Friday. It's 20 questions. You've got a 5-minute time limit, 4 subjects, and you've got to get as many as you can, get on the leaderboard. So this this week, one of the rounds was all about Shane McMahon. So I did ask this question. Sadly for me, I'm ashamed that I've had to repeat it, but I have. So I've waffled enough, Rob. Give us an answer.
I think it might be Eric Bischoff.
Do you? Well, we'll go with that one then, shall we? Easy E. Sort of. Right, that was question 11. So question was that question? No, it was question 11. Hang on, I'm completely lost.
That was 11.
I'm afraid right. I'm sorry, I've missed a question out. Because I'm going to really piss Chris off now because I've got a question wrong around. Chris, can you manage this? He's all right. Thankfully, he's a bit more nimble than I am.
For those of you that can't see on the screen, I can see Chris doing that. And I can't tell whether he's saying, you got the questions the wrong way around, or if he's doing the Shane McMahon, which way did he go? It's that sort of
I think it's more the slow hand clap for me being a dickhead. So we'll actually go. So that was question 11. We'll go with question 12. Question 12. Stop clapping so I can read the question. Question 12. Who was the special guest referee in the main event of SummerSlam 1991? Who was the special guest referee in the main event of SummerSlam 1991? Nick thinks he has a connection.
I know one. Okay, let's say I know one. But why is that a connection? What's that got to do with any sort of connection? I'm nowhere on a connection. I do know the answer to that one. I'm not bad on special referees. I don't think it'll be a good little topic to do one day as a connection of its own. But I have got that one.
Okie doke. So we'll just give it another 30 seconds to run it through.
Without giving too much away, that's someone that's had more than one gimmick name in the past. Would you be accepting any of those gimmick names, or would it be the one that he was using at the time?
No.
You would. Okay.
Doesn't really matter. Whatever you want to put counts. So go on then. Give us the name, and I know you know the. If you know the answer, you know the name. So let's have it.
Yeah, I know the answer. The answer is Sid Justice.
Okie doke. Confident on that one. So we're on to question 13, I believe now. Okay. Question 13. One wrestler has been booked and announced to challenge for the Intercontinental title at 2 SummerSlams and failed to make that match on both occasions. Who is it? One wrestler has been booked into a match, an announced match for the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam on 2 occasions and has missed both of those matches. So just to rephrase that slightly, your guy, I'll use a real world example. So British Bulldog versus Bret Hart was the main event of SummerSlam 92 for the Intercontinental title. Bulldog was challenging. Let's say, for instance, the day before Bulldog was pulled out and replaced by Rick Martel, Bulldog would count as the answer I'm looking for. It wasn't Bulldog, obviously, that's why I'm using the example, but one guy at 2 SummerSlams has been booked into an Intercontinental title match, not made it to the match, and been replaced by somebody else. Who's the guy? Any answers, Rob? Any ideas?
No. I can't think of one. Like sometimes you think, oh well, I can think of it happening on one occasion, therefore I'll go with that person. My instinct tells me that it's probably relatively recent, as in the last 15 years, because I figured that I'd be all right on the first 20 years or so of the event, or the first 15 years on the event.
There's a very mixed bag of answers coming through.
Yeah, don't worry, Martin. You're not alone, mate, in terms of not having the Scooby-Doo. I'm assuming it's going to be someone that's either going to be suspended or injured. I suppose it could be storyline that they... I'll tell you what, I'm going to play percentages. I will go with someone that has been in and out a little bit and would be IC title level for quite a lot. I'm going to say Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho, okie doke. Danielle, if you get 0 points, don't worry. As long as you're enjoying it, I probably would have got close to 0 on this one as well. So who cares? Who gives them monkeys? But we'll go with so this is the last question. It is an actual question in my round. The last question will be the connection. So question 14: who is the only man to ever defeat Dusty Rhodes at SummerSlam? Who is the only man to ever defeat Dusty Rhodes at SummerSlam? This is one of those ones that's absolutely stone cold easy. If you know the answer, it'll come to you straight away. And if you don't, you'll be racking your brains. But who is the only man to ever defeat Dusty Rhodes at SummerSlam?
I can see the match. I can see what went on around it. I'm fairly certain I know the angle. There's an angle that went through the show. There's an angle that took place just before it started. But that's not the person he wrestled. Oh, my goodness. I'm having a shocker tonight. It's too hot for thinking. I've played 18 holes of golf. I've been out and had a picnic on Dartmoor. Oh, it's too hot for all this. We should be more chilled out. You're making me think. You're making my head hurt.
I'm so sorry you've had such a strenuously hard day with your socialising.
Not easy playing to my standard of golf, by the way. People think you just turn up and have this level of attainment.
What can I say? What can I say?
You can say get on with it because that's what you're dying to say.
Obviously, you put your answer in, so feel free to put the theme in as well when you want to. But Rob, what is your answer to question 14? I think Adam's quite close with the thing.
Jake Roberts.
Jake Roberts is your answer to question 14. Okie doke. Right, so I don't know. I've just written that down. I've absolutely no idea why I wrote that down.
No, it's not.
No right, idea. I just decided to write it down. Anyway, so that's the 9 questions, guys. I'll just give you all a minute if you want to look at your answers and put in a theme, and then I'll start going through the answers. So look at your 9 answers for those questions. Give us a theme. What connects all of those 9? I will be honest, it's not the most obvious of themes this week. I've been a little bit cruel because I was quite gentle on the last one. So it'll become very obvious when you see it, but it won't necessarily spring to your mind immediately. Have you got any ideas, Rob? Have you got Scooby-Doo?
No, I haven't. But what I will say, as a quizzer, I'm better at general knowledge than I am at wrestling, folks. But as a quizzer, Adam's in here. Adam's a bit of a semi-pro quizzer. He'll know that there's ways into certain rounds, certain answers. And I think the way into this has got to be twofold. Because on one hand, you said it didn't matter that it could be one of that put the answer to the special guest referee from 91. I could have said several things about that person and you would have still given me it, right? So I think that means it must be that person's first name that's important about that. And secondly, you asked about someone's real name. So there must be a reason why you needed to fit in your connection with that person's real name. I'm bugging if I know what the actual answer is, but those would be the days. Days, very Devon. Those will be the keys.
Would be the.
They will be the keys. So I think the word.
So now you've impressed us with your logic.
Well, I don't know the answer. I'm just bluffing to see if I can get an answer in my head. But I went for Michael Hickinbottom as being, Shawn Michaels' real name as that answer. But I also gave Shawn Michaels as my first answer. I don't think you would have given questions 1 and 4 with roughly the same person. But I do think the word Sid might be important. But I don't have anything really. I'm gonna have to go with something mad like. They've all. Oh, that doesn't work because Eric Bischoff's in. No, I cannot offer anything. I cannot offer anything. They've all written. Right. They've all written autobiographies.
Okay. Don't know if that's true, but it's not what I'm looking for.
No, it's not.
Right. Let's go with the answers for all 10, and then we'll give the bonus points for that second section of 5. Okay. Chris, give us a thumbs up, mate. Has anyone got the connection, by the way? I won't say whether they have or not. I'll just write. Okay. Oh, Rob has said. Okay.
So unprofessional. Oh, I'm having a terrible night.
Question number 6. Who was the first man to successfully defend the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam? Rob offered Shawn Michaels as the answer, and the answer was, in fact, Shawn Michaels. He beat Mr. Perfect at SummerSlam 1993 by countout. So he was the first. Question 7. Made his pay-per-view debut as a mystery tag team partner in a mixed tag team match at SummerSlam 1998. Rob said Edge. And again, he was absolutely on the money. It was Edge and Sable against Luna Vachon. Mark Merrow and Jacqueline, wasn't it?
Jackie. Yeah.
So Rob is 2 for 2. Question number 8. Who one man won matches at the first 5 SummerSlams? Who was it? Rob said the Ultimate Warrior, and the answer was the Ultimate Warrior. Well done, mate.
Who was the first one? I can't think of who. I've got
beat Honky Tonk Man at 1988, Rick Rude in 89, Rick Rude again in 90.
It's Rude twice.
Yep, and so on and so forth. So it's the Ultimate Warrior. Question number 9. What is the real name of the winner of the 5th world title match to take place at SummerSlam? Rob said Michael Hickenbottom. Let's go through it really quickly. So in 1988 and 89, there were no world title matches.
No match.
In 1990, Warrior won. So that's
Warrior Rude.
91, there was none. In 92, it was Warrior Savage. And Warrior
I missed that off.
Yeah. And in 93, it was Yokozuna and Lex Luger. 1994, it was Owen and Brett.
And Owen, winner, so it's Nash.
And the winner is Kevin Nash, who beat Mabel in 1995. So it's Kevin Nash.
Oh,
Diesel,
I missed off Warrior and bloody Savage because it didn't go on last.
Diesel as he was at the time. Right, question number 10. Which wrestler competed at every SummerSlam until his first missed event in 1996? Rob said Bret Hart. And the answer was, in fact, Bret Hart. Well done, mate. So you're 4 for 5 in that first block. That's pretty damn good, actually.
And I should have got Nash as well, shouldn't I?
You really should. Right, question 11. Who was the special guest referee in the main event of SummerSlam 1990? No, sorry. I got these the wrong way around, so I'll flip them around the answer as well. Question 11. Who faced Shane McMahon at SummerSlam 2003? It was a street fight, and the answer was Eric Bischoff. I suspect that one was a connections buster for a few of you. Question number 12. Who was the special guest referee in the main event of SummerSlam 1991? It was, as Rob quite rightly says, Sid Justice. The main event was Warrior and Hogan against the Triangle of Terror, Sergeant Slaughter, Colonel Mustafa, and General Adnan. Did you get the Eric Bischoff one right? I can't remember now.
Yeah.
You did. So you're like 6
I've
or 7.
I've only got one row.
Okay. Question number 8. I always do this, don't I? 13. Question number 13. Which wrestler was booked to challenge for the Intercontinental title on 2 occasions at SummerSlam, but never actually made it to the match on both occasions? The first one was at SummerSlam 1988, should I say, where he was supposed to face the Honky Tonk Man, but he was beaten up by Sam Houston before the match, or days before the match, and Warrior took his place. The second one was just 2 years later. At 1990, he was supposed to face Mr. Perfect for the title, but his place was taken by Texas Tornado because of a real-life horrific parasailing accident. The answer was Brutus Beefcake. So one was for a kayfabe reason, and one was for a real-life reason. But he 2 of the first 3 SummerSlams, he was booked to wrestle for the IC title and didn't make the match. So, question 14. Question 14. Who is the only man to defeat Dusty Rhodes at SummerSlam? You said Jake Roberts. You were wrong on that occasion. Right. It was actually Randy Savage. Sorry. Will Kitchen's quite right. It was Ron Bass, not Sam Houston. My bad. Who beat up Beefcake in '88. So you've got your 9 answers. Then are Shawn Michaels, Edge, Ultimate Warrior, Kevin Nash, Bret Hart, Eric Bischoff, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, and Randy Savage and Sid Justice. The connection, please tell me it isn't Hogan based. Martin, you are absolutely right there. It is Hogan based. They have all been Hulk Hogan's tag team partner on a pay-per-view or on a network, on a TV special. So just to run through them, Shawn Michaels at Backlash 2005 against Hassan and Daivari. Randy Savage at SummerSlam '88 and various other occasions. Brutus Beefcake on numerous occasions. Edge, he teamed with Hogan at Vengeance 2002. Kevin Nash teamed with Hogan at Spring Stampede '98. Sid Justice is the only non-pay-per-view one. He did it in Saturday Night's Main Event in 1992 against Undertaker and Ric Flair. Bischoff at Road Wild '98 against DDP and Jay Leno. Bret Hart at the 1998 Great American Bash, and the Ultimate Warrior at SummerSlam '91. So they've all tagged with Hulk Hogan is the answer. Tough one, that, wasn't it? Rob's like they lost the connection.
I don't often like to let in daylight upon magic, but the first question of the 5 questions that I have written for you for next week, which I'm now going to change, question 1 is how many tag matches did Hulk Hogan have on pay-per-view?
Really? How funny.
In WWE.
Right.
WWF, WWE. So we're not going to answer that now. I will skip that question now. I literally went through yesterday all of the tag matches that Hogan had on pay-per-view. I went through pay-per-view by pay-per-view, writing down when Hogan had a tag match. But my answer was all focused on the opponents and looking how I looked at all the opponents. I didn't think who his bloody partners were.
Good.
The answer's 8, by the way.
Yes, I would have thought so. Because the only one I didn't have from WWE was Mr. T, because I didn't want to make it too obvious, and the same reason I didn't have Dennis Rodman in WCW. But anyway, let's get Chris in for the bonus points for that back 5 there. Chris, no one got the connection, mate, did they? As Rob.
Now, this is where we need to have one question. Is Hulk Hogan a good enough answer?
Yes.
I think so.
I can give one, but I can't give that they've all beaten Hulk Hogan.
No, because that completely does it out. But I will accept Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Eric Bischoff's never beaten Hulk Hogan.
Well, I hope not. Anyway, right. In which case, Patrick Heafield 3, Will Kitchen 3, Leanne Culverhouse 2, Adam Frand 1, Chris Marden 1, Kerr McKinley 1, Martin Richards 1, and Matt Thorpe 1.
And if you repeat those?
Yeah, Patrick Heafield 3, Will Kitchen 3, Leanne Culverhouse 2, Adam Farran 1, Chris Marden 1, Kerr McKinley 1, Martin Richards 1, and Matt Thorpe 1.
Splendid. And Nick, just to clarify, mate, we weren't talking about the SummerSlam match. We were talking about the Backlash match prior to that, where they teamed against Hassan and Daivari. So that was the one we were looking for. Chris, okay, mate, thank you for that. We'll come back to you soon. Cheers, dude.
Go.
All right, mate. Get your own back, and then we'll make our big announcement after this quiz.
Oh, I mean, this is just going from bad to worst, isn't it? But, I mean, I can't believe I researched something by accident Then you go and ask a question about it, and I still don't get it. I want my ass kicking.
Yes, you do.
Oh, dear. Okay. Right, before I do my last 5 questions, I want to share something. This is outside the quiz. This is purely for something, so a bit of fun. Do you know who Tony Halm is or was? Halme.
Yeah, I do, yes. Do you want me to say?
Yes, please.
It's Ludwig Borger.
There's a real name of Ludwig Borger, okay? And Ludwig Borger had a very checkered life. He's no longer with us, and there has been plenty of things accused of him, not least on Bruce Pritchard's podcast about him being a let's say a rather right-wing individual.
A Nazi, Rob.
But on his, I had okay, you can say that. Oh, he's dead, isn't he? You can't libel the dead, so yeah, Nazi. But on his Wikipedia page, there is a section that says other media. Okay, so the person whose real name was Tony Halm, Ludwig Borger, other media. It tells you that he wrote 5 books, released 1 album, and had 5 singles. Okay, so he's an author and a singer, as well as being a wrestler and a politician. And indeed, I think he had 1 fight in UFC, or at least 1. So his 5 books, this is their English translation. His 5 books are The Testament, A Hard Day's Night. Don't think he came up with that one. I think that's Lennon McCartney. The Vikings Strength Guide, of the Judgment Day, and the rather brilliant God Has Mercy, I Don't. So that's that. That is the 5 books that he wrote. His album, which was in Finnish, was called Mestarit Saila, is translated as The Champions at the Gym. And these are the names of his 5 singles. And this is all true. This is on Wikipedia, but this is all true. His 5 singles translated are called I Am Iron Man, The Viking, The Fatherless Son, I Am Like This, and one of the greatest sentences I will ever say in my life. Ludwig Borger released a single which translated into English as Sod Off Clown. Painu Pella Hiltin, Sod Off Clown, was a 2001 single for the man formerly known as Ludwig Borger. That is extraordinary.
Have you finished yet?
No, he's only 28. Very good. Right, I will do. I'll do some questions. That was purely an aside. Yeah. Adam says Alexa, play Sod Off Clown on Spotify. Anyway, just that was an aside, but it was a true aside. Right, my final 5 questions. I'm going to tell you the little connection this time. They're all on stipulation matches. That is to say, not necessarily gimmicks like an ambulance match or a cage match or a
I see
2 out of 3.
They've all got conditions attached to the finish.
A bit of a condition attached. So sometimes it's in the question, sometimes it's not. But it's a vague, not vague, but a little theme of things to do with very odd stipulation matches. So question number 1: who was the loser of 1996's Crybaby match? Who was the loser of the 1996 Crybaby match? It's question number 16. I think I said number 1. Number 16. Who was the loser of the 1996 Crybaby match?
I know who was in it, but I'm not sure I remember who lost it. So it's a bit of a 50-50 toss-up for me. Mine suggests we all go to iTunes and buy Sod Off Clown and see if we can get it to number 1.
I should go. I'll give its real title because you won't find it under Sod Off Clown. It is called. I'm not sure how good my Finnish is, but it's Painu Pella Hitin. Is how it's.
Did he release them as Tony? Did he release them as Tony Halm?
I believe so. Yes, it doesn't say Ludwig Borger. I think it says Tony Halm. I think so.
I have found him on Spotify. Can you? Is it Pinu Pili? It's it, right. I have found the link. I'm going to share it in the comments with everyone. Copy song link on Spotify. Sod Off Clown is coming your way, everybody. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. It's there. You can all play it to your heart's content. When it comes through, there you go. Sod off clown. Let's get Ludwig Borger to number 1. The daft Nazi. Right. So I will give my answer to this one, and I think it is the 1, 2, 3 kid.
Okay.
Patrick's absolutely right, by the way. Patrick's absolutely right. We will be playing Sod Off Clown. We will be paging Stevie Cox, DJ Stevie Cox. It will be going on our playlist, on our set list at the next Hooked on Wrestling party after lockdown. That is so shizzle.
Wonderful stuff. My screen is still on Ludwig Borger and not the questions. Let me get it back. Number 17.
1, 2, 3 kid is my answer. Yeah.
Okay. Number 17. The name of the match that took place between China and Jeff Jarrett at No Mercy 1999 shared its name with a magazine. Name it.
Do you want to name the match or the magazine?
It's the same. The name of the match.
Kidding.
Prick. The name of the match between China and Jeff Jarrett at No Mercy 1999 shared its name with a magazine. Name either the name of the match or the name of the magazine. It's the same.
I like that Callum noticed our countdown. Do you know what? Can I just to be completely honest? We use a virtual studio called StreamYard, which is fantastic. By the way, if anyone ever needs to do anything like this, StreamYard is a wonderful, wonderful piece of kit for a very small amount of money every month. And what they've made some upgrades this week, including allowing you to stream to more places at once, which is why we've been able to go on Relentless as well as on their Facebook page. We've got 3 different locations now. But one thing we've done is add these videos. So I tested it this week with the countdown video, but what we'll be able to do in future potentially is do video questions and audio questions and stuff like that as part of the quiz. So now it's the first time I've used it tonight, but once we get our head around it, we'll be able to add some extra sort of layers to this quiz maybe. So watch this space. Gives us more toys to play with, doesn't it, Rob?
It does. I like audio questions. I've always got. I can always do some audio questions.
What?
If you ever want some theme music's done, I've always got one.
Can you do New Day's theme on that for me?
No.
Right. Answer to question 17. Is it? I'd say the magazine and the match is Good Housekeeping.
Okay. Number 18. At SummerSlam 1999, there was, I think it was that's right. At SummerSlam 1999, there was a
Get your year right.
Yeah, it is. There was a love, well, in fact, in history, there's only been one Love Her or Leave Her match. Who was her? At SummerSlam 1999, I believe, but there's certainly only been one Love Her or Leave Her match. Who was her?
Okay. I concur. There has only been one Love Her or Leave Her match.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, every time you get a kazoo out, Chris Benoit's theme pops into my head. It's shocking, but
Really?
That is more offensive than playing a Nazi pop song.
You've just done a 10-question connections round and that's a racist.
Anyway,
everyone else in the world, Black Lives Matter. Paul Benson, no, let's do Hogan rounds. Let's more Hogan rounds.
Let's not go down this route, shall we? But yes, Tack, it was definitely 99. I can vouch for Rob on this one. He has not cocked the year up this time. But very, 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 very good idea to check.
Yeah, good point.
Definitely. Right. Okay. My answer to the question, her, was Stephanie McMahon.
Okay. Number 19. What was the name given to the Kane versus Matt Hardy match at SummerSlam 2004? What was the name given to the Kane versus Matt Hardy match at SummerSlam 2004?
I know the stipulations, but I'll be damned if I can't remember the.
I mean, it has a specific name, and I would like the answer to be that it could be worded in a couple of different ways. So if you don't get the exact wording, I'd be friendly. this goes for you, Paul, and for anyone else playing. Chris is obviously on the ball on this kind of thing. So I'd be friendly on the actual wording within a couple of words. Do you know what I mean? If you miss out a word or you get a couple of words the wrong way around. But if you just tell me the theme, the stipulation, that's not good enough. I want the name of the match. It had a specific name.
Okay.
And like I say, I'll be friendly, and if you get it nearly right, then I would award it. When we do the answers, I'll say what I consider worthy of a point.
Can you just read the question out one more time for Callum's benefit, please?
What was the name given to the Kane versus Matt Hardy match at SummerSlam 2004? In the same way that it must have happened for a few people, because it's coming in a few times this question. So I'll say it a couple more times. What was the name given to the Kane versus Matt Hardy match at SummerSlam 2004? And bear in mind, like we've mentioned already, the Crybaby match, the Love Her or Leave Her match. It's got a name like that.
Chris, can I just ask?
That's what we're looking for.
Was Summerland where they held Summerfest? Was that where it was? I don't know. I forget. No. Okay. Should I give my answer now? Do you think? Should I give it?
I'd say give it a little 10 seconds more, just because there was obviously some sort of stream freezing issue.
Okay. Well, funny enough, I did a top 10 list of iconic SummerSlam moments that you can find on hookedonwrestling.co.uk at the moment. I didn't consider this match for one of those 10, but it did. But it did cross. When I was looking at other ones, it did pop into my view. So I think the stipulation, I think was something on, and you'll feel free to tell me I'm wrong if I've got it too far off. But I think the stipulation was something along the lines of, if Kane won, he was allowed to marry Lita, and I think the match was called an I Do match.
Okay. Number 20.
Oh no! No, it wasn't. I think I said your answer.
Don't say anything
else. No.
Number 20.
I know the rules.
What was the stipulation? Actually, this is the same sort of question as the last one. Is that what's the name of the match, really? But I'm also asking what's the stipulation, because it kind of follows. What was the stipulation? What was the name of the match between Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler on the 2015 Extreme Rules pay-per-view? What was the name of the stipulation? What was the name of the match between Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler on the 2015 Extreme Rules? And this one is kind of that the answer's in the question. Do you know what I mean? This is the name of the stipulation match indicates what the stipulation was attached to it. If you see my drift, it's not quite so nebulous as a couple of the other ones. Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler, 2015 Extreme Rules.
I don't think I have a clue.
While Paul's thinking, no Punjabi prison, says Kerr McKinney, no concrete crypt either. But while Paul's having a think, this is probably a good time to let you know about this week's podcast topic. I've now looked on my screen and found out exactly what it is. It's a bit of a broad topic for us, actually, but after last week's one, which was a little bit different, a little bit thought-provoking, but also something that is a bit more intangible when we did who's going to be the best future co-commentator. This week, we are going back into certainly Paul's favourite time in history, and I think many of us would identify with that. We're going into the 90s. We are going into the 90s, and our question is, what was the best 90s pay-per-view? That is our question.
Love it. Love it.
For this week's podcast. We're not necessarily stipulating a company, so you've got plenty of different places to go. You might go WWF, WCW, ECW, outside of that North American market. It's entirely your call. But what is the best 1990s pay-per-view? So it's a very open topic because it covers one of the most covered periods in wrestling history. It takes away the last 20 years. But what is the best pay-per-view of the 90s? And we include that is from January 1990 to December 1999. To be clear, I don't think that's controversial in any way, but just to be clear, no, it's not 20 question 21 tack. It's the topic for this week's How to Be Great podcast, which you can watch on the Hooked on Wrestling YouTube channel and also via any of your favourite podcast apps. So we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, etc. Look for How to Be Great, and you'll get 12 or 13, I think we've done, episodes of Paul and I, and indeed a couple of special guests, because Chris Hass has joined us. Dean Ass was on the podcast this week, and we are looking into having a couple of other guests that may be joining us in the near future. We shall see. So what we'll do is we'll put that on our social media in the coming days to offer you a chance to get involved. Tweet us, Facebook it, and we'll discuss some of the answers that you suggest. So that's the podcast that's coming up during the week. Paul Benson, my last question was, what was the stipulation between Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler and the 2015 Extreme Rules? What are you going for?
Okay, well, you're very kind to give me the time. I haven't got a clue, but I'm going to just literally make it up and say it was a Boston street fight.
Okay.
Totally made up.
Is that Boston? Boston have got a lot of Irish people. Is that where you went?
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough. Okay. Let's do these answers then, shall we? The final set of answers for the evening. And don't forget, folks, keep on tuning in, because there's two big things still to come tonight, as well as finding out who's won the quiz. We will be giving away tonight's prize, which is a Matt Riddle Bro t-shirt, courtesy of our friends and sponsors at www.euroshop.com. Thank you to them for their continued support. Please do visit their website. We'll be giving that away to a random contestant who's joined in for all 20 questions at the end of the quiz. And Paul has a blockbuster announcement, and it is a really cool announcement, folks. Genuinely, I'm really excited about it. But let's do some answers. And the loser of the Crybaby match in 1996, you said?
I said the 1-2-3 Kid.
1-2-3 Kid. You'd be correct. Razor Ramon, 1-2-3 Kid, getting all pampered up, putting a bit of a nappy on him, bit of talcum powder and all that kind of stuff. 1-2-3 Kid is the answer. China versus Jeff Jarrett, No Mercy 1999. What was it called?
It was a Good Housekeeping match.
It was a Good Housekeeping match. That was the name of it. Number 18 at SummerSlam 1999. There was a Love Her or Leave Her match. Well, you can show off if you like and tell me who it was between, but the answer was who was her.
Well, I will show off, because it was between Test and Shane McMahon, and her is Stephanie McMahon.
Correct. Number 19. What was the name given to the Kane versus Matt Hardy match at SummerSlam 2004? You correctly surmised it was about whether or not someone could marry Lita, because clearly that's how things work in life. You have to have a wrestling match to propose.
Of course.
You went for an I Do match, and then you suddenly had a bit of an epiphany. What do you think it was now?
I actually think it was Till Death Do Us Part match.
Correct to the word, Till Death Do Us Part. That's the wording. I think in England we would probably say Till Death Us Do Part. We would probably move those words around when we're saying our vows in our marriage ceremonies, but I might be wrong. I'm not big on marriage ceremonies. But yeah, Till Death Do Us Part, Till Death Us Do Part. Any variation on that wording gets you a point. If you just said an I Do match or Kane to marry Lita or whatever, nope, I want the name of the match. So some version of Till Death Do Us Part or something very close to that. If you're not sure, put what you put up on screen and I'll tell you if I think you're right or not. But I'd be friendly. If you put something quite close to it, you get the point. Number 20, what was the stipulation of the match between Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler on the 2015 Extreme Rules?
Nope.
Well, the stipulation that Sheamus wanted to put in is something that I'm quite happy to say to you on a daily basis, and especially tonight. 3 words. Kiss me. Kiss me arse. They are the 3. It was a kiss me arse match, not a kiss my ass. Of course. A kiss me arse match. To be fair, if you put kiss my ass, we'd probably give you the point for that. But yeah, it was the kiss me arse match.
Of course it was. Of course. I had no idea.
No,
No idea on
classy.
That one. Good old Seamus. Well, I got 7 out of 10 altogether there, mate. What about you?
I think I got 6. I think I got 6 of yours, didn't I?
Oh, not bad. Not bad at all.
I was on 6 out of 7, and then I didn't get the last 2 or the connection. So I think I got 6 of yours. So not bad today.
Good. Well, guys, more importantly, thank you for playing, first of all. Let us know your scores. So we're going to... Actually, I need to get Hatch's bonus points in first, because you can't get your scores without the bonus points. Sorry about that. Hatch,
cool.
How are we looking, dude?
Bonus points for the last 5 questions. Patrick Heafield, 4. Adam Pearson, 3. Martin Richards, 3. Leanne Culverhouse, 2. Jenny Nelson, 1. Thomas Hall, 1. Thomas Stringer, 1. That's Patrick Heafield, 4. Adam Pearson, 3. Martin Richards, 3. Leanne Culverhouse, 2. Jenny Nelson, 1. Thomas Hall, 1. And Thomas Stringer, 1.
Well done, everyone. Some great points there. So now please add up your question points and your bonus points and chuck us your answers in there into the comments. Well done, everyone. Whether you got 1 or 2 or 15 or 40, absolutely doesn't matter. Martin Richards, you're absolutely right. We completely missed that there, but we've been so focused on what we've been doing, what we're going to announce soon, that we've completely forgotten to do anything this week. So, so that was some great scores, mate. Leanne, well done on the 25 for you and Adam. Martin got 18, which is great. 15 for Adam, which is another good score. Thomas got 5. Not as good, but still respectable in a way. Look, it's all about the taking part. That's all that counts. Patrick got 28. 12 for Malcolm, 15 for Steve, 16 for Kurt. Look, there's some really, really decent scores. 12 for Adam, because Big E's round shafted him. Sorry, dude. Sorry to everyone whom I round shafted. Like I tend to veer between modern one week and older the next week, so I'll be going more modern next week. Will got 19. Look, some really good scores there, guys. Well done, everyone. Again, it's just for fun, so it's just for give yourselves a pat on the back, no matter what score you got. Chris, have we drawn the number yet? Have we drawn the winner of the T-shirt?
Yep, the Matt Riddle T-shirt is Malcolm Marr.
Bro, well done, Malcolm. You get the Matt Riddle T-shirt, mate. So just drop us a DM with your size of choice and your address, and we will get that out to you. So, guys, thank you everyone for playing this week. Right, for our regulars, for our new guys. Really loved you happening. I hope you had a good time, no matter what the score was. We really love you coming around and playing. So please come again next week. Tell your friends. We're going to get this. Keep on moving forward. We get more and more players each week, and it is awesome. Should we let the cat out of the bag on our big SummerSlam announcement?
Yes.
Let's do it, guys. Right. So let me pull the graphics up on the back before we do.
We've got graphics and everything. What time is it going live on social? At 9:30?
In 7 minutes. So you guys get the exclusive. So you'll get to see the graphic once we are all out of the way. But essentially, this was born
this is like catchphrase. Yeah. So you should get a question and then just remove a little bit from the screen.
Malcolm, very kindly, by the way, says he's already won a T-shirt. So if he's sure, we absolutely can offer it to somebody else. If you're absolutely sure, we'll do a redraw very quickly. Very, very quickly. So I've got my number generator here. Chris, what's number 3? Who's number 3 on your list?
Okay, that will be Tack Smith.
Tack Smith. So thank you to Malcolm's very high generosity. Tack, congratulations, you win the quiz. So again, send us your size and your address, and we'll get WWE Euroshop to send that out to you. What a star he is, mate. So, as we were saying, SummerSlam. As you probably know, guys, we are sadly not going to be able to do any proper Hooks on Wrestling parties for SummerSlam. We are absolutely gutted. We thought at one point it might be possible, but unfortunately, circumstances have conspired against us. Essentially, the bars can't get late licenses. So whether we wanted to or not, we haven't got any venues. So we thought we'd do the next best thing. So first of all, we thought we'd do what we did for WrestleMania, which, if anyone remembers what we did then, it was me, Chris, and a few others basically getting pissed and watching WrestleMania along with you guys and having a good old time. And it was all well and good in the early days of lockdown. We thought we'd go a bit harder this time. And last week I announced that we'd be doing a special bumper version of this quiz in the run-up to SummerSlam. which people like the idea of, and we will definitely be doing. But again, we thought we could probably do a bit more. So we're going to do an online SummerSlam party. Okay, so we are going to be here with you on SummerSlam night from 8 o'clock until midnight, with some special stuff that we're going to come to in a minute. We're all going to be live on our Facebook page and on YouTube that you can dip in and dip out of. There's going to be the quiz, etc., etc. At midnight, SummerSlam comes on. You all bash it on your WWE network, and again, we will be watching along with you, commenting, pissing around, just bringing a bit of colour to it and bringing a party atmosphere. We can all join in together and feel like we're a bit of a community rather than being all separate and watching in our rooms or our bedrooms, which is the worst way to watch wrestling. So the most exciting part is, though, we thought it's SummerSlam. Okay, SummerSlam brings back a lot of memories for me, specifically SummerSlam 92. Okay, the biggest moment in British wrestling history. I was there. I'm sure a bunch of you other guys were there as well. British Bulldog winning the Intercontinental title in the main event. Now, we realised
whether he wanted to or not.
Whether he wanted to or not. This moment, as obviously we all know it goes down in history, but it's not really celebrated enough. You know, it's not been forgotten, but it's never really been celebrated. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a special night to commemorate this moment, right? Okay, and thanks go to Wrestle Merch Central, who've helped us put this together. There are merchandise partners who run the Hooked On store, and they also run the they also run the merchandise store for the British Bulldog. So here's what we're going to do. This is really exciting, right? So we are going to do a special SummerSlam 92 night, right? So we're going to have tons of content that is all about SummerSlam 92. So first of all, we're going to have a guy in. You may have heard his name. You may have not. His name is Martin Goldsmith. Okay, Martin, more than anyone, is responsible for bringing WWF events and the WWF in general to the UK. He was the guy that flew over to meet Vince McMahon in Stamford in the late 80s and told him he needs to come and tour here, etc. Martin and his brother Harvey promoted SummerSlam 92. So they were the guys behind it. They were the guys that made it happen. They were the guys running it on the day. So Martin's going to be on live with a Q&A and a presentation. He's going to tell us all the interesting stories that went into putting it all together. He's going to make sure he's going to put it all together. You know, all the fun stuff, all the challenges, everything else that went into that. And Martin was the co-promoter and the event merchandiser as well, by the way, of the night. So he's he's a great guy, right? And listen to Martin. You can listen to him talk all night. He's going to tell you all about stuff that happened backstage that night. You know, it's a really interesting perspective that nobody will have heard about SummerSlam before. Okay. We're also going to have, and this is what we're really excited about this. And again, thanks to Wrestle Merch Central and specifically Dean, who's put all this together. We're going to have a watch along for the main event of SummerSlam 92. Okay, so we're going to get you all putting it on your computers at home. It's free on WWE's Facebook, so you don't need the network to watch this. You can watch it on their Facebook. In fact, I think we could probably bring it into the feed legally. We're really excited that watching that along with us from Florida will be Georgia and Harry Smith. Okay, so they're going to be watching this thing, telling us all about what they were doing on the day, what their dad was going through, giving the perspective of the British Bulldogs children, telling you all about what it meant to the family, what it meant to Davey Boy, everything else, and just giving us a completely different look at this night. If that's not enough, we're also going to be having a Q&A with Diana Hart-Smith, the British Bulldogs wife at the time, Bret Hitman Hart's sister. Remember, she was the woman right between them, raising both of their hands in the center of the ring as the fireworks went off that night. Diana is going to be live from Calgary, telling us all about her experiences around SummerSlam 92. And she's going to be giving you, she'll be answering questions. I think it's going to be Rob interviewing her that night. And we'll be accepting questions for Diana as well. So you get to hear everything she's got to say. She's never done this live before. She's done a bunch of interviews, but she's never done a live interview on this. So we're going to be doing this. And look, that is not the end of it. We've got another whole tranche of guests lined up, right, to bring us this 4 hours. We're going to have the quiz. We're going to have all these bits and pieces. We've got another few games to play. And the guys, this is all completely free, right? All you need to do is be there on our Facebook page or on our YouTube page. Join us for the night. Spread the word. Look, we want to give back. Wrestle Merch Central wants to give back. They do these great online stores. If you want to support us, buy some of David Boy's merch, buy some of our merch. It's not a prerequisite. There's no fee. We just want to bring as many people together for this SummerSlam night as possible. We're going to be spreading the word a lot about this. There's a press release going out tomorrow. We're going to be working with a whole bunch of Facebook portals and other news sites to make sure absolutely everybody knows what we're doing on this night, right? So you're going to have all this great content for 4 hours. We're going to have quizzes. We're going to have loads of fun. We're going to have silliness. And then when SummerSlam comes on, we're going to crack open some beers because it's going to be hard work for us all to run this. We're going to have to produce a lot of different feeds. You know, the three of us and a few other people are going to be working really hard for those 4 hours. And then when SummerSlam comes on, we'll crack open some beers, get absolutely wasted, and talk nonsense for the duration, which is pretty much what we do at these parties anyway. If anyone sees these parties, we work like madmen until midnight, and then when all the hard work's done, we get the champagne out, or we get the beers out, or whatever, and we just get drunk. So that's what we're going to do on Sunday, August the 23rd. So look, please join us all. It's going to be a really good night. It should have gone live on our Facebook page right now. So, guys, you looking forward to that? I'm talking to you, Rob and Chris, by the way.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Let's be clear, everyone. For 4 hours building up to the show, we get an interview with the promoter of SummerSlam 92 to watch one of the greatest matches of all time with the two children of the winner of the match, an exclusive interview with the sister of one and the wife of the other who's never done it before. That's pretty cool in itself. As well as that, we'll still do the quiz. We'll still do some other giveaways. Absolutely fantastic. We just need to mention that we're not screening SummerSlam. So you'll need to watch SummerSlam via your network as per usual. So we can't show you SummerSlam, but we'll be with you from 8 till 12, building up to the show. And then from 12 onwards, we'll be watching it on our networks. You'll be watching it on yours. But we'll keep our stream live so we can comment and we can have some fun with you and have a bit of a hangout, basically. But so much going on in one night, unbelievable. And like Paul says, we are working on a couple of other things, which we will try and cram in.
We will get a few
as well
more
to make it really, really, really special. Bear in mind, like Paul says, we're going to try and promote this, far and wide. Please spread the word. We want lots and lots of people involved. It will spread the brand of Hal, but it will also spread the word of the excitement of that night. But for you guys who are really special to us for seeing the quiz every Sunday, you're here time and time again. We'll give you an opportunity because when we have the Q&A with Martin and with Diana in particular, we're going to be asking questions that you guys are going to be submitting as well. So we will give you, the people that are so loyal to the brand, the opportunity to get in touch beforehand. We won't be able to ask absolutely everything. We'll need to select a few things, but you guys will get priority. Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on what you're thinking and saying, and of course, I think it's probably going to be Paul does Martin and I do Diana. We'll see how it goes, but we'll certainly be putting across your things as we go, and we'll all be around all night. We're going to have an absolute blinding night.
So just to clarify a few points and questions. So Mark, SummerSlam 92 is not free on the network, but you get, if you go to WWE's Facebook page, I think it's called WWE Full Matches or something like that. They've got all these matches that they've put on there, and that match is one of them. So you'll be able to screen that on Facebook for free. And I think we can put it as part of a watch party. I think we can get involved in that. Richard, in answer to your question, the quiz is 9 p.m. If you go back to Facebook, our events now, you'll see this event listed at 8 p.m. So the quiz is just going to fold in. The quiz will be at 9 p.m. on that night. The rest of the schedule will release in the next couple of weeks once we've got all the other guests confirmed. You don't want to miss any of this, right? Like, it's all new, fresh content. It's going to be so exciting. I've heard Martin tell all his stories about SummerSlam before when we inducted him into the MediaCon Hall of Fame a couple of years ago, and they are fantastic. Like, it's
really interesting guy.
Such a fresh perspective on it. You've heard about what's happened in the ring. You've heard from, Bret Hart. You've heard from Davey Boy before. You've never heard about the guy that played such a big part in putting all this together. Like, it's a totally new perspective, and it's so interesting. So, guys, we're gonna be making a lot of noise about this in the next couple of weeks. Please help us. Please join in. We really want to celebrate Davey. We want to do this. Like, so, us and Wrestle Merch Central, who are the brand new merchandise store. Not to put too bad a point in it, they are the UK equivalent of Pro Wrestling Tees. They're just getting started. It's a great business model. They've got online stores for us, for the British Bulldog, and for WS Wrestling, for the Road Warriors. Tatonka's coming soon. There's a bunch of stores on there with more and more added every week. Dean's doing a great job. And we want to help them spread the word as well. So guys, we're going to leave it there. We're going to get off and leave it tonight. But thank you again. Please join us for SummerSlam. We can't wait. We've got a lot of work in the next couple of weeks to make this happen. But it's going to be an awesome night, isn't it, Chris? We're going to have a good time.
Absolutely amazing. This is as close to a party in a bar or anything as we're going to get. And to put something together like this, absolutely fantastic.
Awesome. Right. So before we go, we're gonna check our guys that you'll be able to. We're gonna exclusively reveal the artwork when our faces come off the screen. I'll leave that up for 30 seconds or a minute, and then we'll. By the way, the comments are still like, tell us what you think of the artwork. Tell us where you think we've got the idea from. First person to get it right wins a pat on the back. But guys, absolutely fantastic to be with you all again tonight. Have a lovely week, and we'll speak to you all in the week. And Chris, Rob, as always, thank you for your help, and I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, don't forget the quiz next week as well, folks. Back as normal next Sunday, and then a SummerSlam night and a fortnight.
Of course. Right, ta-ta, guys. Let's get this artwork out there.